What is going on, guys? The UFC Paris is done. It was a great fucking card. A lot of highlight finishes. Now, let's dive into a quick recap of every single fight on the card, starting off from the top as always. Manny Moicano, he does it again. He cannot afford to lose. This man is crazy right now. He called out the French government. He called out the prime minister on their backyard. It was great. It was another legendary moment on the mic for him. This is what we know. This is what we love about him. On the cage, he looked great. The takedown looked so easy, and he got to work immediately. Landed some elbows, mean ground and pound, great control. Great. He always had control. Great positions. He took mount a couple times, back full mount. He was looking for the choke. If it wasn't there he'll just transition to again to land some ground and pound. Saint Denis had no answer for him on the ground. His level of world champion black belt jiu-jitsu guy really showed up, and he shows that there are levels to this. He looked fucking great. Although the casuals are now on the Moicano train, I was on him versus Jalen Turner on UFC 300. Maybe I was lucky. So I thought that's why I went with Saint Denis here. So I guess I didn't start off the night 0-1 because this was the last fight, but we do this backwards. So starting off the recap, as far as my predictions went, this is my first loss. But people are saying like, oh my god, he could go on a title run. Dude, like, he's 35. He looks like he's 60. He's never had really good cardio. And honestly, he said, after 300, when Max was ranked number 9 at lightweight, after he beat Gagey, and Moicano was ranked, I believe he was the 10th lightweight in the world at that time. On his YouTube channel or his podcast, I don't really remember. People were saying like, "Oh, you should fight Max Holloway next. He's ranked now at your division." And it was like, "Nah, he'll kill me. Like, he's going to destroy me." So now people saying, "Oh, he's going to go on a title shot." I don't think that's what he wants. He just wants to keep fighting easy fights, like he said. He said Patty's an easy fight. He said Dan Hooker, top 5, that's an easy fight. Obviously, he's going to call out Dan Hooker. He's not going to call out Charles Oliveira. He don't want that smoke. He don't want to call out fucking Gagey. He don't want to call out fucking VCF. He cannot handle those guys. Not anymore. Back in his heyday, this guy was very good. He was always very good. He's always been very solid. He's like a true gatekeeper for like the top 10, top 8. He's very good. His age don't matter. So with his call out, I want to see him fight Paddy Pimblett next. I think that's a great fight, because I think that will show us how good really Paddy Pimblett is, because I think Moicano kills him everywhere. Like, I think he has better striking. He's a much better boxer, definitely. He is the better grappler. And obviously you have to give, the athleticism, the speed, the cardio to Paddy Pimblett because he's younger. But other than that, everything favors Moicano there. So I'm down for that fight. He called him out. Moicano's top 10. Paddy Pimblett is barely ranked now. I would love to see that fight. I would die to see that fight. And I think they do it. I think they do it. That's the best part of it. With Saint Denis, on the other hand, I think him changing coaches, changing camp, it was a terrible, horrible decision for him. At first, my first impression, when I was watching live, was like, is this like another Leon Edwards type of performance where Edwards kind of looked lost out there versus Bilal, and I thought Saint Denis looked the same. Even his coaches, I believe it was after that first round where Moicano just whooped his ass for 5 minutes and absolutely destroyed him 10-8 round. His coaches were like, dude, wake the fuck up. What the fuck are you doing? And I was like, yeah, maybe something is going on, some similar to the Leon Edwards situation where he was just like, I don't know if the lights got too bright. He looked shocked out there. He could not believe what just happened, or he was like tired, sleepy. I don't know. It was very weird. But rewatching that, I think their new corner coaches really messed this dude up, because I think he tried to be too technical. Because off on every other Saint Denis fight, as soon as the bell rings, he's like all over his opponent, and this wasn't the case. And I don't care that Moicano is dangerous. He tried to be too technical, too clean. Worry about the takedowns. You have to pick your shots. If you're saying they need that, you don't want to get away from your roots. Okay, you're just a fucking ape. You go out there and you kill people, you pressure them. That's what you do. You don't get away from your game plan, or the type of fighting that lead to your success. That's why you are here, because because of your fighting style. He abandoned it when he needed it the most. um I just think it was so stupid. Like, you weren't going to last 5 rounds anyway, so like just empty the tank in the first round. If you get him out, you get him out. If you don't, you're going to lose anyways. Like, you're not going to beat Moicano in a 5 round fight if you don't finish him in the first, maybe early second. Kind of like the same with Poirier. Um, and honestly, I think he fucked up. Like, I don't know why he cut ties with his former coach after that Dustin Poirier fight. Um, and I think it was him. Like, he was like, I need to get better. Like more cleaner, technical style of fighting. I need to abandon this. But I mean, that was just one fight. He had staff. Um, I just don't know how you just completely abandon who you are on a moment like this. I really just I was shocked. Like, I was, what the I mean, is this guy really trying to be in a technical match versus Renato Moicano? But I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what it was to me, at least. So for his next fight, I think he should fight Ludwig Klein. Like, I think it's time we stop babying Ludwig Klein. I'll talk about him in a couple of minutes here. But for Saint Denis, he got exposed twice now. No excuses, no staff this time. You're in your backyard and you put off this performance. Ludwig Klein deserves a shot at the ranking, so I don't think BSD gets to fight another ranked fighter. I think he should fight, um, a fighter trying to take his number, and he should defend it. And I think that this would be, on paper, would be a great matchup. 0-2 to start the recap. Not looking good. Nasruddin Imavov beats Brendan Allen by a unanimous decision, 29-28, convincingly. At my first, when I was watching this, and Allen got that takedown like super easily on the first round. Um, my mind immediately went to the Belal and Marab fights, on their championship fights, where on the first round they immediately got the takedown, made it look so easy, and everybody was just like, "Oh my god, like it's over," you know. So I was feeling pretty good about my pick, about my bet, BA, and but he didn't do shit on that first round. Like he was just holding on for dear life, being a jiu-jitsu guy, and really he didn't try anything. Like maybe he kind of tried for submission, if I remember. But like no ground and pound, no elbows, no nothing, nothing, a whole lot of nothing with Brendan Allen. And going into this fight, I don't even know why I'm talking about Brendan Allen. I'm supposed to talk about Imavov. Well, Imavov, he's, stopped the takedowns round 2 and 3, did his job, was landing more strikes on the feet, although Brendan Allen was having some success against him. But Imavov, just look a lot more cleaner, technical. I don't know, obviously, I mean, it looks pretty. Brendan Allen striking is just like horrible, very awkward and clunky. And Imavov is a great striker. He was faster, landing the better shots. And to be honest, like even if Brendan Allen decided to strike with Imavov in that last round, they were not going to give Allen that round. It was the Imavov show. He was supposed to win. He got the win. One thing for sure, none of these guys is winning the belt. I thought that Brendan Allen was the guy that could beat DDP, but after we saw this, I don't think I can, stand behind that anymore. So I just have to let it go. For Imavov, I'm not convinced that he's ready for the title shot. If he knocked out Allen or dominated 30-27, maybe. But I think he fights the winner of Whitaker Chimaev. Although if Chimaev wins, he's getting a title shot immediately. We know how the UFC operates. So I guess basically this just means it's him versus Whitaker. Because Chimaev is getting a title shot if he wins. I hate the UFC, bro. So yeah, I mean, him versus Whitaker, it would be a fucking great match. Like, they're both technically awesome, fast, great striking. Could we see Imavov try to offensively wrestle versus Whitaker? That would be interesting. So I think that's a match to make. Because if Chimaev wins, he's getting the title shot, no question about it. With Brendan Allen, Brendan Allen. It's good old Brendan Allen. His stupid IQ, bonehead decisions, lame ass, pathetic attempts of a single leg takedown that just ends with him in front of another grown man on his knees, trying to roll to pull guard. Like Jesus, like I was so high on Brendan Allen. I think he's so good, but he's mentally weak. I said it on the preview, and now, I mean, I knew this was going to happen. I was just, I really wanted Brendan Allen to win. So I like him, but he's soft. Like, he's mentally weak. He's always, yapping on Twitter, with DDP, with Vittori. He has that thing with Vittori, which now I think I don't know, maybe a man crush. But, I mean, you're having some success. I mean, look at this fucking, look at the fucking Nasruddin's face. Like, you were having some success, you get hit and you immediately panic shoot for a takedown. Panic shoot for a takedown. We saw this in the Chris Curtis fight as well. And I guess it's true that when a fighter is hurt, they, they really, they go into like a survival kind of instinct or mode in their head, and they turn back to whatever are their roots. Brendan Allen's a jiu-jitsu guy, so he tries to take the fight to the mat when he feels he's in danger. But you're having success. This has been Brendan Allen problems whole career. It hadn't cost him because he's so good. Like, honestly, he has all the skills in the world to be world champion. I think everybody knows that. I don't think anybody would disagree with me there. But he's just, from the shoulders down, he's a great fighter. From the shoulders upwards, he sucks. Like, honestly, he sucks. Like, if he had anybody else's head, and I don't even talk about. I'm not even talking about the chin here. Like, just what's inside his head. He'd be the champion. Like, he would be the world champion in this division. The bright side is we finally get to see Vittori versus Brendan Allen. They're probably ranked, in the same range. Allen doesn't have he cannot hide behind his winning streak anymore. And Vittori, I don't, he needs to stop ducking him. So I think this has to settle. If we ever see one of these guys step into the cage and it's not Brendan Allen in front of Vittori or Vittori in front of Brendan Allen, I'm going to be very pissed, because this is the fight to make. Like, they have beef. They're right. You know, right there on the rankings, side by side, pretty much. This is the fight to make. Like, Brendan Allen can just shut up about his title hopes and go fight Marvin Vittori. Everybody wants to see that. And they have history, so why not? They have to make this fight. Like, this is another fight that they have to make this fight happen. God damn it, fucking William Gomi, bro. I was on him first, then I changed my mind to Brito because I really wanted to see Brito fucking kill this man, because he's so boring. No aura, no personality. He's just running around on the ring, trying not to get hit. Whenever he gets hit, you can see this expression on his face, like he's scared. He doesn't like to get hit. This guy needs to go away. And I was really banking on Brito to do it, to break this man. But, he couldn't catch him. He was just running around, trying to stuff takedowns. And was it a robbery? Personally, I scored rounds 1 and 3 for Gomi. I don't think Brito did enough in that first round. Second round, he looked great. In that third round, he couldn't land shit because Gomi was just, running around on his bike, being a little Frenchy bitch. But it is what it is. I hate these fucking... Like, this is the worst that could have happened. Like, if we finish Brito, we'd be like, oh my god, okay. I mean, we're onto something. But, I mean, this guy is just going to pull up to every single fight in France once a year, and put up a shit performance like this, boring ass, barely close, razor sharp close, split decision. Well, I mean, it's going to be unanimous because we know how the French operate there. I mean, why does it keep happening to the best fighters? Like, maybe not the best, but you know what I mean. Like, the fan favorites. Like, can we have something? We have to deal with all the fucking John Jones, Dana White fiasco, the Dagestani privileges. Like, now we have the fucking Saudis and the Abu Dhabi stacked cards, the shitty cards in the Apex. I mean, can we have something here? So please, Lord Silva, do everybody a favor. This fight was supposed to be booked, and Gomes ducked him in Brazil. Okay, I don't care if this fight is in France. I don't care where this fight is scheduled. I want to see it. I believe in Lord Silva. He's going to fucking kill, murder, take William Gomes' head off. So please, we want to see William Gomes die inside the cage. Plus, whoever just wins gets a shot at the rankings. I think that's fair. Can you imagine being João Anderson Brito right now, getting back to Brazil and having to explain to all your badass favela homies that have had a very tough life, that a little French man that's literally run around for 10 minutes inside a cage just beat you in a fist fight? Yeah, I wouldn't want to show up either, but that's life. And João Anderson Brito, I mean, he needs to get his striking act together. His striking is horrible. Like, it looks like he's fucking throwing baseballs out there. That's all he does. His grappling, is good. His wrestling needs work as well. I'm not saying he got fraud checked, but it was pretty damn close. And it was a close fight as well, so I'm not going to shit on him just yet. But if he fights again versus Lopez, Lopez kills him. So maybe he's just, he's just a jag, maybe. Maybe the win over Diego Lopez on the Contender Series fight will be what he's remembered for. But as of now, I don't know with Brito. He's very, I don't want to say unique, because I think there's many fighters like Brito, but something's missing. It's probably striking, but I don't know. Very weird. So for his next fight, maybe Yusuf Salal. Like, they're both great grapplers, not very good strikers. Salal's probably faster, but Brito is going to look huge in front of him. Salal's on a little run. Brito just lost. He was brewing something. So I think that'd be a fun matchup. The fun little matchup at the Apex main card. Book it. Never again am I picking or betting against Aura. Bryan Battle has Aura. I said it on the preview again. I need to be more confident on my beliefs and on my takes. I'm always flip-flopping and changing my predictions while I'm making the video. But Bryan Battle looked great. Great game plan. He just went out, said this guy's going to get tired if I push a crazy pace on him. And, Giuseppe got tired. He wanted out. He did not want to be there anymore. The first round was pretty close. Like, it could have gone either way. You bet your house all three judges had it 10-8 for Giuseppe. But Giuseppe on the second round, he was gassed. Like, he was done. He was looking for a way out, and he got it. Like, he didn't want it to be there anymore. He was exhausted. Great game plan from Bryan Battle. He looked great. So I think this man, he's on a sneaky run, even though he's like a fan favorite, especially now after what he did. Great on the mic. He's fucking great on the mic, honestly. That's the second time he's done that. But yeah, he's better than we thought at first. He definitely worked on his game. He looks like a completely different fighter. And at this division, this weight class, this guy could really go into a deep, deep run. That being said, I don't think he's just ready for the rankings. So match him up against Randy Brown, another guy that's on a sneaky little run, on a pretty. I think this division is more stacked outside of the rankings. I think it's harder to get into the rankings than actually the fights inside the rankings, especially if you don't get babied or fast tracked. These two guys are strikers, so we love that. Book them. Like, this is the fight to make. Whoever wins gets a shot at a ranked fight. Simple as that. CKB, another failed project, if you will. I don't think Giuseppe has a very bright future. I mean, he just wants to fight at a 2 strikes per minute pace, low volume. He has some pop, you saw Battle's head snap back a couple times in that first round, and he was just throwing jabs. Like, he rarely threw hooks, nothing loopy, just straight shots, and you could tell Bryan Battle felt those shots. But at the end of the day, no gas tank, not a very good grappler, no like backup plan. I mean, if you're fucking getting cooked on your ass, you cannot handle the pace. I mean, you fucking try to grapple, hold on, clinch up against the fence. And when Bryan Battle was doing that, I thought that was like the fucking that benefited Giuseppe because he was getting tired. I mean, honestly, this guy doesn't look like he's very smart either. I was on him, so 0-4 to start off the recap. Yikes. So for Giuseppe, I mean, he's 2-1 in the UFC. They were trying to fast track him. I don't know how he got this fight, honestly. I mean, give him Ernst Lusa? Like, I really don't know. Like, he was just so down below in the rankings. Bryan Battle, he's, almost there. So give him Ernst Lusa. You know how the UFC always does this with their matchmaking. Oh, this guy fought this guy, so let's give him this guy. We see a lot of shared losses. Finally, a good prediction from my part. I called this right on the money. The Last Pirate by second round KO. So that makes me 1-4 on my predictions. The Last Pirate, he's good. Like I said on the preview, he's got an ugly ass record, but he's very, very good. Has some great losses on his record. A controversial decision versus Mariscal. He's very good. Like, his striking is good, his wrestling is good, his grappling is good. He's great everywhere. He's fast. He's very athletic, good cardio. Although he kind of faded versus Mariscal, but he's super solid. I think he has a bright future. He definitely belongs in the UFC. So for his next fight, I want to see him versus Jack Jenkins. He's another guy that I like a lot in this division. Both are very similar. Great everywhere, good strikers, same type build, jacked, athletic, a lot of muscle twitch, fiber muscles. I honestly think that's a great matchup. Two very good prospects in this featherweight division. Gabriel Miranda, he's terrible. He sucks. He's just a jiu-jitsu guy trying to do something in MMA. He doesn't like to get hit. He's not a striker. He just wants to Imanari roll, play jiu-jitsu off his back. Crotch sniff. He sucks. He's terrible. He doesn't belong in the UFC. So I hope we don't see him again. If we have to, honestly, don't care. I don't care at all who he fights next. Let's move on to another fight that I got wrong. Farisiam just knocked out Matt Frivola, the steamroller, with probably one of the best KOs we'll see all year. It's definitely a top 5 KO, probably even top 3. as far as the year goes. And Farsiam, he just beat the boring allegations. He looked great. He looked phenomenal. He was sunning Matt Frivola. He was too big. Like, he was just so long, too tall for Frivola. He did everything he wanted to Frivola whenever he wanted. He was dominated. I don't think anybody saw quite this. Because I don't think we've seen before Forrest with. I mean, I know it's not power because, a knee. I mean, everybody's going to get knocked out by a knee to the fucking jaw. So, good performance from him. Good for him. And he's sneaky good. I think he's like 6-2, 6-1 in the UFC at lightweight. That is very, very impressive. So, I'm glad that this French guy isn't just like boring. He's good. He's exciting. And he was giving it to Frivola. It wasn't like Frivola was just like hunting him down and Farsiam was just counter striking like a Gomi. He was hunting. He was hunting. I'm very glad we saw that from him. He looks like he could be a problem moving forward. He definitely hit a next level. So I want to see him versus Jokar Close. Jokar Close is riding like he's crazy hot right now. I think he has like a 9-5 winning streak. How is nobody talking about Jokar Close? Farsiam has like a 5-4 winning streak now. They're both right outside the rankings. I think this is a very cool, fun little matchup to make. So yeah, book it. For Matt Frivola, on the other hand, his chin is compromised. I mean, his fighting style. He's always been into some wars. He always took damage to inflict damage, so that's just his style. I worry about him. I think his chin is gone. After that knee, his chin is gone. I don't think he retires. He's 35? I think 36, 35. I'm positive he's 35. So I want to see him versus Thiago Moises. I know these guys usually fight like prospects. They're kind of like the gatekeepers of the rankings. Top 20 French guys for like 5 years. Last 5 years they were running that part of the division, but I think their time is done for Frivola especially. So I want to see whoever wins, gets to keep his spot here, and yeah, because Moises also needs to win or he'll just keep falling down the rankings, and I think we need him there. He's one of those guys where he's good. He's not quite, a ranked level fighter, but he's just right outside of that. So if you beat him, you're definitely good and you get the shot. We need those type of fighters in every division. Whoever wins this get to keep that title. It just sucks to see Matt Frivola going down like that, but hey, was a Matt Frivola fight at the end of the day. Very exciting, great finish as always. I'm very thankful for Matt Frivola. Jan Kuchelawa decided to show up as the first version of himself, so it cost me again 1-6 in my predictions. Kuchelawa, this is the best we've seen from him. I thought he was done. He had looked horrible. He was on a horrible run, about to lose his job, and he pulled every fucking shenanigan in his fucking playbook. It worked for him. He won rounds 1 and 2. I don't think anybody is disputing that. That round 3 was close. Ivan Arslan, I think he belongs in the UFC. The UFC needs fighters in this heavier divisions. So good for Jan Kuchelawa. He has a lot of experience. He's still very young. I think he's just 30, 31 maybe. So he's young. If he wants, he could have like another 8 years of career in this division. he didn't go all ape, so maybe that part of his game it's over. But good for him though. I want to see him fight next Victor Petrino. They already tried to fast track Petrino. It backfired horribly, and I think this is a good test. Like, I'm not saying this is an impossible, very hard fight for Petrino, but this is not a layup. Like, if Kuchelawa is like real, and he shows up, looking the same as he did on this fight, he can give Petrino problems, and Petrino needs a win so he can take a shot at the rankings again. For Ivan Erslan, he's the last loser I'm going to talk about. Um, so he looked good. I didn't think he looked very. I don't think he looked bad. Cardio. I mean, honestly, it was better than I expected. I think the lights got the better of him here. He belongs in the UFC, especially a very thin division, trash division like light heavyweight. So for his next fight, he had some success in that last round. So cardio shouldn't be a problem for him. I want to see him fight Bukaskas. I really don't know. I hate this division. So let's just move on. Finally, another prediction right for me. 2-6. Umar C looked phenomenal. I think he's the real deal. On my preview, I said this guy has the cardio, has the striking, has the grappling, and it surprised me that he just wanted to strike versus a very dangerous guy on the feet. He has power, a lot of loopy punches. He's not very good, like very technical, clean striker, but he looked super like lightning quick versus Woon. If it wasn't for fucking Da Woon's indestructible chin, because he ate some fucking massive shots, he would have gotten the KO on, I would say, a lot of like 80% of the fighters, if not more, in this division. He's the real deal. So far so good. Don't see any big holes on his game. The sky's the limit on a division like this. So for his next fight, I kind of want to see him versus Jacoby. Jacoby Justin Jacoby. He's coming off a loss. He'll look to strike. And Umar C, I think he can hang in there with him. If not, he can just grapple and probably submit Dustin Jacoby. It would be definitely a huge step up in competition for him. I don't think he's fight nobody anywhere near the level of a Dustin Jacoby, so that would be a very good test for him. If he wins, just he's ready for the rankings. Like, this division sucks, and he's legit. He's undefeated. So I cannot wait for this guy's future fights. This is where I go on a little run here. 2 fights in a row. We moved to 3-6. Ludwig Klein got fraud checked, man. No wonder the UFC has been babying him. He literally just beat Thiago Moises. Then he was supposed to fight Nicolas Mota. Like, what the fuck? And he fights versus a guy on short notice that's probably barely UFC level. And he goes to a decision. Roosevelt kind of whooped his ass for what round was it? Well, I think it was round 1, right? So yeah, I think he looked lost out there. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Ludwig Klein. He's not very good. But I swear to God, if the UFC gives him another like layup or another non-ranked fighter, I'm done. Like, they're just telling you he sucks. He's not. He doesn't have it. It sucks because he was supposed to be good, and he shows up and puts up a shitty performance like this. Everybody was on Ludwig Klein by finish, and he didn't do shit. Like, he didn't dominate. he won. He barely won. I mean, I guess there's a case to be made for Roberts if you really want to get, if you want to really get picky. But overall, I mean, I guess good for him. He was supposed to win, and he did. I think he lost stock. Like, he doesn't look good at all. Striking. I honestly cannot tell you what happened there. For his next fight, I already talked about it. I want to see him versus Saint Denis. Both guys have looked pretty bad recently. Um, I think it's time for Klein to get a shot at the rankings. Saint Denis looked weak, and so did Klein. Good matchup. I don't think anybody is high on these guys, like, to make anything run, whatever. I just don't see, like, a very bright future for neither of these guys. So whoever wins gets a number to the side of their names, but they're not getting very far. We move on to another correct prediction of mine. Taylor Lapalus, you boring fuck. I got this right on the money too. Taylor Lapalus, everybody was like going crazy. Oh my god, his level of striking, he's whooping his ass. I don't think he's very good. Like, he's great from range. We already know that. Good takedown defense, but on the pocket, his arms are too long. He has no neck, so he kind of looks like that Pokemon that's like a rock and has only two arms, two long arms. So if you get in the pocket, he cannot hit you because he'll just he for straight shots, his arms are too long for the pocket, so he cannot connect. And if he tries to loop it, he'll just end up with his fist behind your head. He'll like kind of huck you, cleanse you. So he's terrible. Yeah, I don't think he's as good as his record says, and he's boring. Like, he's boring. No aura, no nothing. He sucks. I was rooting for Morales, but to get the win, short notice, I think it was just too much to ask. So give him a striker. I think he's ready for a guy like Chris Gutierrez, who's just going to kick him, and kick him all day long, twice on Saturdays. And I think this is a good test for him because I already said he's not as good as his record says. I mean, this guy was 3-1 and he got caught. I don't think he has much future, especially if he just keeps fighting like this. He's, he's not. The UFC doesn't like him. It's pretty clear. So just keep him for the French Paris cards, and that's it. We don't have to see him like twice a year. I don't think anybody would care. Eileen Perez, what a fucking clown. What a savage. But she's good. Like, honestly, for as dumb as she is, she's good. Like, she is good. She knows what her strengths are, and she plays to it. She sticks to them. And honestly, for the UFC, that takes you a long way. Like, especially in women's MMA. If you're like a specialist, or you know what you should be doing out there and you do it, you will win fights. A lot of fighters doesn't seem to realize that. So yeah, great win. Made it look super easy. I thought it was going the distance, but I said on the preview, if Eileen Perez gets a finish, has to be this fight. Totally makes sense. So she took her down easily, submitted her, got the triangle choke. She shook her ass on her face at the end. Like, Eileen Perez, like, she's a total character. She's good for the UFC, especially in a very boring division like this. She's ranked. It's crazy. When she first got to the UFC, I think everybody was just like, oh, she's just here to shake her ass. She'll have like a career, but because the UFC, wants to keep her around, fight a couple of years, she'll probably be a below 500 fighter, but she's good. Like, she's very coachable, and she is good. Like, she's not dumb on the cage. She's dumber outside the cage, which, I mean, I guess that makes sense for for the MMA sport, right? So she keeps climbing up those rankings. I want to see her versus Yana Santos. Yana Santos is a big 135er. Eileen Perez is very small. Yana Perez, Yana Perez, Yana Santos, she's mean. So I think that would be a fun little matchup for the Apex. I don't think I should say main event, but yeah, have these two duke it out in Las Vegas for sure. We finally hit 500, 6-6. Danny Barres by decision. We called that. Great win. This guy is good. Like I said, this guy is good. He's always in your face. A lot of pressure. Has some power. I mean, he dropped couple, 2-3 times. Altamirano, he dropped him, and Altamirano was out. Like if you can see, this was on the third round, I believe. He was out. He woke up when his head hit the fence. So Danny Barnes is good. Sucks for Altamirano because I like him. I think he's very good. But now he's probably out of the UFC. I don't know if they'll keep him around. Maybe another fight, but he's very good. He win. I thought he beat Dos Santos, and he had a very very tough task versus Barres here. Barres is good. He's just too old now. I don't think he does anything, too relevant. But in a thin division, who knows? Like he's good. He's big for the weight class. He's not too tall, but he's very wide. He's a phenomenal striker, very good wrestler. Honestly, he's very underrated. I want to see him again. Like I want to see him again before the year's ends. Again, the flyweights being the fight of the night. I don't know why people hate this division. I know there's no rarely we see any finishes, especially knockouts. There's really like no one punch KO power in that division, but that's fine. Like they really want to kill each other. They're always fun. They're always great. This was fight of the night for me. So for his next opponent for Barres, I want to see him fight Dos Santos. Like Dos Santos just lost to Andre Lima. He barely beat Victor Altamirano, and Barres had a good scrap versus Altamirano. You know how the UFC does this. They always match up guys. If you go into a fighter fucking schedule, you'll see they repeat matchups. Like if you fought this guy a couple of years ago, now you fight this guy. I don't know. You always see like either shared losses, shared wins. But yeah, I think this would be a very very good fight. It wouldn't surprise me if Barres tries to like grapple and wrestle because that's what how Andre Lima beat Dos Santos fairly easily. So very good fight. Very very solid, entertaining, high action, high pace. I love flyweight, man. We move on to the women's bantamweight again. Jacqueline Cavalcante, she has looked very good. I think she's ready for the rankings. She whooped Cornell's ass. Although it was close, I thought for sure they were going to rob her. And Cavalcante, she's growing on me. I mean, looking at her on that picture, on the scale, she's looking kind of cute. I don't know if I'm tripping, bro, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm seeing here. So for her next fight, I think she's ready for Julia. And finally, to end the recap, we finished 6-8. Bellagio got subbed in the first round versus Chris Duncan. I did not see that coming. Honestly, it was a terrible week. Horrible predictions. Horrible bets. I went 1-3 on bets. Saying didn't really cost me at the end. My buy and sell segment, I said buy stock on Bellagio. He goes out and he does that. To be fair, this fight, Bellagio looked great. Like I thought he looks much faster, cleaner. He was doing whatever he wanted. Then he went for the takedown and got caught in a ghillie. So that just shows you he's not very good. I mean, if you're getting caught in a guillotine in 2024 in MMA, you're not very smart. You're not very good, and you definitely don't have a lot of future in the UFC. So that sucks. Because I liked Loki. I thought he was going to be a major problem in this division, but I was wrong. Chris Duncan. I mean, he's 3-1 in the UFC. If you would have told me that when he started, I would have said you're crazy. Like, there is no way this guy is 3-1 in the UFC, but here we are. Nothing makes sense in this sport, so I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, if it doesn't make sense, it's probably going to happen, so it makes sense that Chris Duncan is 3-1. For Chris Duncan, man, it was really hard finding an opponent for him. So, I mean, I just went with Claudio Puelles. I think that's an interesting matchup. And it seems Chris Duncan is legit. I never thought I'd utter say those words, but Chris Duncan is good. Like, he is good. It's time we accept that. He's chinny. Like, he will always have that problem. So I wouldn't pick him with confidence on his next fight. But I mean, it seems that the guy's a winner. So yeah, that is it for me. This is the end of the video. If you somehow made it this far or are listening to this, I really appreciate you. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. And I'll see you on the next video. The preview for the 307 card, which is already here. It's crazy to think that Pereira is fighting again. But yeah, I want to drop a monthly awards video series. So I'll have it ready by the weekend, a September awards video. Until then, stay blessed.